And I'd like to talk for a second about feeding your starter if you're not going to bake. So I keep my discard in the refrigerator for, I don't know, 4 days, a week, and then I usually bake. But let's say that your starter's been in the fridge for a while and you feel like it needs to be fed, but you don't want to bake it. Basically what you need to do is just give it a little snack, give it something to eat. So you don't need to do the 1 to 2 to 2 feeding, because what that's doing is it's really building up your starter to get it fully active to bake with. But you need to give it something. So just put in a couple tablespoons of water and a couple tablespoons of flour and mix it around. Let it sit on the counter, and so it can still eat and process all that snack. Let it sit on the counter for the day and then put it back in the refrigerator tomorrow. And another note about feeding is that you only want to feed your starter maximum once a day. So let's say that you do the 1 to 2 to 2 feeding and somehow you don't get enough starter that you need for a recipe. Most recipes use about 100 grams or 150 grams of starter. But let's say you're doing something really big, or maybe you want to make multiple loaves to give away to people and you need a lot of starter and you didn't get that with your first feeding. Then what you need to do is just leave your starter on the counter and then do another feeding tomorrow. Bigger, more amount of the starter, plus double the water, double the flour. So you should just think about that with whatever recipe that you're making and whether you're gonna be able to get the amount of starter you need on the first feeding or you have to feed it again. And the reason that you don't wanna do 2 feedings in the same day has to do with, it's kind of chemistry, so I don't get it all, but it has to do with the acids that build up in the jar when the starter's growing, when it's doing that doubling process. And you need to give it time to grow and then to kind of come back down before you give it more food. You just think of it like a kid. You don't want to overfeed it.